got done watching Warhammer, 40,000, Dawn of War 3. The trailer just got released a couple of minutes ago, whatever it may be. So I watched it, and I'm not a fan of this series per se. I never played it, whatever it may be, so you're probably clicking off the video. But this is just kind of a biased perspective. This is just a guy kind of looking at the trailer. I thought this was actually a pretty fucking cool trailer. The thing was epic to the T, right? Now, the thing about these StarCraft or Space Marines or 40,000, whatever it may be, they have very cinematic trailers to the point where you don't even have to be a fan of it or you never have played the game, and you can really get excited for it. Just in general, they have some of the best cinematic trailers out there. Now, some things I kind of really did pick up on is the opening quote, which I thought was actually pretty good, talking about darkness ascending and would never kind of like leave, especially in our lifetime, which is a very apropos quote because even though there's light and there's dark inside of the world, they would never fucking end, pretty much. It's always going to be one to battle the other, so that's a very pretty much appropriate quote for the thing. Now, the soldiers or the Space Marines kind of falling down from the sky, I think it is kind of a metaphor for kind of like the darkness descending, because that is death coming upon them. They're talking about death constantly and having faith or whatever it may be. There's a Space Marine in here that's constantly looking up around the dead bodies. Not all the dead bodies kind of just being dropped and you see all of them on the ground. That was actually pretty fucking cool, because if you remember 300, the ending, like Leonidas when he's like looking up and all the bodies are just like around him, it was almost like a symbolistic type of shit. It was actually quite cool. I'm getting my words fucked up, but I thought it was actually quite cool to see that, and I thought this was a very dark and brutal trailer. Like the armored knights, I guess you could kind of call it. There was like a type of thing, whatever it may be, with swords. The small ones, not the big ones. With swords, and they kind of looked like almost like banshees from like Mass Effect 3 with like swords or whatever it may be. I thought those were actually quite cool. The thing is about this trailer was that it actually did seem like they actually knew what they were doing, and it seems like it's going to be a very epic game, at least judging from this trailer. The big, giants kind of clashing, that Pacific Rim action they had going on, and then you see the shot with the shit is like exploding, and then the Space Marine is just like looking up, and he's just like, let me get my sword ready, which is like pointless, but whatever. But I don't know what was the final shot completely about. Was that something covering his face, or did something grab his face when it kind of like faded to black? Because I actually thought it was pretty cool. Now, granted, like I said, I've never played these games. My only knowledge really of 40,000 Warhammer pretty much is the one that was on the PS3 and the 360. So that's my only knowledge about it. So if it was good or not, let me know. I never really played it, but that was my only real knowledge about it. But what makes Warhammer kind of badass to you? What did you really think about this trailer? Is this shit epic? Because this is kind of what it kind of had, like a bit of a Shadow of the Colossus vibe almost with it, mixed with like Pacific Rim, a little Gears of War, at least from the trailer. And I know Gears of War kind of was like inspired by this. I knew that part. Or maybe they're kind of similar or whatever. But I thought this was actually a pretty cool trailer. What was your favorite part of the trailer? What's the most badass shit in the trailer? Because I'm actually excited for a game that I may or may not actually play. And if I was a noob, which I am kind of for the series or whatever it may be, what would be the best place to kind of start if you actually play this shit? So let me know. Comment, subscribe, and like. Check out my other videos if you actually didn't really enjoy this one. And I'm Chris Smith, and I'm signing out.